realtors, welcome back to my channel and happy day one of Bookmas. Maybe I should try to make a cute intro. Who knows? So in full disclosure, I just want to put it out there. I'm going to be pre-filming all 12 days of Bookmas. They're not all going to be on the same day, but I think for all the days leading up to Christmas, I am going to be wearing my lights shirt just to make the idea of what I'm going to wear for videos easier, and then I'll probably wear the same shirt for the ones after Bookmas, or maybe I'll just keep wearing this shirt. I will wash it. It's kind of the only festive shirt that I have. I am not a super festive person. I like the holidays, don't get me wrong, but I'm not like super festive, if that makes sense. But yeah, let's get started. The first video I want to do for Bookmas is my thoughts on my Wheel of TBR game, as well as my wrap-up bingo wrap-up game. I think I don't even remember. I've not been consistent with my videos, and I know that going into 2021, I would like to, or no, that's not the year we're going into. Going into 2022, I think that I would like to be more consistent with my videos and getting them up there. I'm gonna do a whole goals video, but I would like to be very consistent at the very least of doing my Wheel of TBR and my wrap-up bingo, because I enjoy making those videos a lot. They are probably the ones that I have the most fun making. But I do have some thoughts on them and I wanted to share them. So starting off, we are going to talk about the Wheel of TBR. To start off, I really enjoy making these videos, like I said, and I find Wheel of TBR to be really fun because like I can just sit here, my wheel's actually right here. So we're going to redo the set just a little bit. No! I had a student a few years ago make me this, and I always mean to put it out at Christmas time because it's just so cute, but I always forget. So it's right there, girl. You probably will never see this and may not even know it was you, but you made it for me. The wheel, the bear out, make it a little more festive all of a sudden, 3 minutes into the video. But yeah, I have a lot of fun. I really like spinning the wheel, and I hate making decisions. Like if I were to go up and just stare at my TBR shelf, I don't think I would make decisions very well, and I like having something make the decision for me. Like if I were to have spun like a debut, I could just go onto a spreadsheet that I make and I would be pulling off like 5 or 6 debuts, and then I could be like, I'm in the mood for a thriller, I want to read about fake dating, I want this or I want that, and like I could just pull that book, and instead of picking from like, I think I have like 80 some books up there, I'm picking from 6 or 7. So I have fun doing that, and it just makes the decision process easier. I'm a slow reader and I know that, and I also know that I get distracted easily, and that I am susceptible, that's the word, susceptible to falling into reading ruts. They happen every year. I don't know the pattern, I can't figure out why, but I fall into them every year. This year was a bad one. But I like the number of spins I do. I don't mind getting red circles. I try to make the best out of red circles every time I get one. In fact, like, spoiler alert for my December wrap up, but if you watched my December Wheel of TBR, you know that I got a book on my self-destruct list. I loved the book for my self-destruct book. So I made the best out of getting a red circle in that situation, and I try to every single time. For me, I personally like the number of spins I do though, because there are months where, like there was a month recently where I started all 4 books. And when I'm in a good reading pattern, I'm reading about a book a week plus an audiobook. But when I'm in a bad reading place, I'm not reading as much. And that's fair. I think that's common. I'm not 100% sure. Or like, I'm not, like if you're in a reading rut, you're not reading as much as you normally do. And I don't want to be the booktuber that's reading 20 books a month. I want to be the booktuber for the book readers who read a book a week, read 4 books, maybe only read 2 books or a book a month. Like I want to be that booktuber, because sometimes I look at some booktubers that I love, like Gabby Reads or Simply Kaylani or Completely Mel or Books and Lala, and they read 20 books and it's amazing. I'd love to hear all of their thoughts and feelings about it, but then I'm sitting there and I'm like, I read 2 books this month and I'm not feeling like I am, like I can call myself a reader or call myself a booktuber because I'm not doing as much as they are. But then I remember that there are people out there who are maybe looking for that. They're looking for someone who reads a smaller number of books like they do. So now I'm like, I want to be the booktuber for the person like me who's not reading 20 books a month and instead is reading 3 or 4. So I'm going to continue to do my 5 spins a month. I like having one audiobook that's picked out based that way, and then sometimes, like earlier this year, I just like binge read the Briar U series, or last year I read, I think the series, it was like a male hockey romance series. I think it was like called like Fake Out or something. It was like by Eden Finley. And I loved that, and I binge read those instead of reading the audiobook spin. And I kind of like getting red circles. I like months where I don't get red circles, but I also like months where I do get red circles. Like, they don't feel like a punishment for me. They feel like a challenge, and I like that. I also want to brainstorm more red circle ideas. I do have some. I have like in my notes section, I have like more ideas for white circles that I need to make, and then I have some 10 circle ones or red circle ones, but I'm looking for more ideas. So if you happen to be watching this and you like watching like Wheel of TBR videos, and you know people who do like punishment spins or like punishment challenges, or you have like a challenge that is harder and you have any ideas, let me know in the comments down below, because I would love to know. I also am planning on making one rule adjustment for my rules next year. I'm not 100% sure how it's going to roll out. So I'm going to talk more about it in my January TBR, which will be the final video of Bookmas. But basically the idea would be that would have to do with like mental health and taking away red circles on mental health months, because there was a month, I believe it was October, where I didn't read at all, and it had more to do with my mental health than it did with wanting to read. And that's when the red circles get hard, is when I just have a month where I'm burnt out, or I'm depressed, or I'm very anxious, or I'm exhausted and I just don't have time to read. So I want to kind of, for that November TBR, I ended up saying that I was going to take away a red circle, and it's basically going to be that, but it's going to add in an easier challenge that like I don't think would mess with my mental health. I really hope that makes sense. I don't know, maybe it doesn't. Overall, I'm really excited to do Wheel of TBR again in 2022. I'm really hoping to do it for all 12 months next year. I also would like to consistently do it, because Simply Kaylani just made a video where she reacted to a year worth of Wheel of TBRs, and she used that to kind of figure out what books she was gonna unhaul. I think I almost want to do a video like that that's like prepping for like my next self-destruct video, which would be like next October, and I would watch all the TBRs from that year, and any book that ended up on the TBR multiple times that I did not read, I would have to put like a certain number into the self-destruct books for the next year. Something like that. So I definitely want to be consistent, because I have an idea of where I could go with that. If that makes sense. I hope it does. But yeah, so that is Wheel of TBR. I also play a wrap-up game. I'm not sure if anyone else does. I just randomly decided to do this at the beginning of last year. I'd kind of done something like that a few years ago in my bullet journal when I tried to bullet journal, where I made like a bingo board, but now I have one for like my wrap-up, and I love doing it. Love doing it, because it gets me excited to like do these wrap-up videos, because sometimes wrap-up videos I think are harder, because sometimes you're just talking about a book, but then when you add like a game element to it, I think it's fun and I want to know more about it. So I'm definitely going to be playing this again in 2022. I would like to make the board look nicer. Like, this is what the current board looks like. If you have not watched my November wrap up, there's really no spoilers because I didn't cover a square in November.
All right, hey guys, editing Emma here. So I just want to say I filmed and edited an amazing November wrap up with Wrap Up Bingo. Like, hands down, probably one of my favorite videos. I thought it had uploaded and completely processed to YouTube, so I deleted the edited video and the clips off my computer, and I emptied my trash because sometimes iMovie like acts funky, so I try to get stuff off my computer as fast as possible, only to find out that it did not upload. So I know that I just talked in like the clip before this about how like not to spoil the video for you guys that I didn't get any squares in November. That is completely true. And unfortunately, you guys will never get to see that video. But yeah, I did make a wrap-up video for November. It just got lost.
But it's looking a little janky. I used the website where I put all my prompts in, and then it made a bingo board for me, and then I I typed it all in. I think next year I'm just gonna like take a screenshot of it and like edit it and like put it on here, and then I'll just keep the different month signs so like that looks neat and happy, and then we could have my hand-drawn tokens that I don't care about. I really thought we were gonna win. I actually had a book that I was like partially through, and I just kind of got distracted and I didn't finish that we could have won. If I finished that book, we could win bingo. Because it's a scary book and we could win bingo that way. But I've really enjoyed doing that. Full disclosure, I do look at my bingo board before wrap-ups. So like I'll know if it wins because I need a new board if we win in the middle of a month. So I normally know, like I went into November's knowing that we didn't cover anything. I questioned it a little bit. I almost covered something just to cover something in November, but yeah, I normally know. Those are the two games that I play on my channel. I'm hoping that I play them every month next year and that I really enjoy them and it continues to be fun on my channel. If you have any ideas for like circles or bingo squares, definitely comment on this video because I will be doing a lot of prep for the games in the next few weeks when like this is coming off, especially during my school's winter break. That's when I'm gonna have the most time to make these adjustments. So definitely leave them in the comments down below. And yeah, if you play a TBR game or a wrap-up game, let me know in the comments down below. I always like to add more. And yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying your Bookmas season, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, Worlders. I forgot to make my thumbnail. I forgot to make my thumbnail. They always look the same, but I forgot to make it. Oh wait, I probably should not put $2 this way. There we go, it's better.